All right, we've been waiting for this. We're, of course, already getting our first taste of winter weather with those snow showers and all that cold weather we've had this week.
Well, tonight, Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us with his much-anticipated winter weather forecast. And, Chris, what can we expect for the upcoming season?
You know, guys, I think we get our first snows before Thanksgiving. Oh, wait, we just had our first snows. That one's a slam dunk at this point, right? But, yeah, it is the much-anticipated winter forecast as we get to this time of year. This is something that I start working on actually back in July and August in terms of finding years that have been similar to this. Now, it's something new we have here at WKYT where I can actually make it snow in the studio. How about this? So if we don't get a whole lot of snow outside this year, I can at least make it snow in the studio. So let's get into it and show you what we are working on. One of the things I like to look at, the forecast ingredients, we'll call them, the 2022 weather pattern so far has featured a fairly tame spring and summer in terms of temperatures. It was near normal for rainfall into parts of central Kentucky. Obviously, we had those devastating floods above normal in eastern Kentucky. Then our fall turned incredibly dry. And you know what else we had this fall? Earlier than normal cold air blasts. If you recall, we had patchy frost at the end of September and October, now into November, featuring a lot of cold air as well. Something else I look at, the global indicators. We look at La Nina, which is in its third year out in the equatorial Pacific, fancy word for the waters around the equator in the Pacific Ocean, and the blocking that has been showing up across Alaska and western parts of Canada. So let's talk about the Pacific right now, because this has been a big driver in recent years. So we're in our third year La Nina. This is a moderate La Nina where the waters around the equator in the Pacific are a little cooler than normal. Now, this is our third year in a row of this heading into the wintertime. That has only happened on two other occasions, with a third year event in 2000 and back in 1975. So that at least gives us a couple of areas or a couple of years to look at to see what happened in those 2 years. And then I also look in the North Pacific where you're talking about warmer than normal waters that are trying to continue to flex here south of Alaska, but there's a little pool of some cooler water that may try to get into the mix across the Gulf of Alaska right now. So we got to keep an eye on that. That usually promotes a big ridge up into Alaska, the western part of Canada, around the Yukon. That's what we're seeing right now. That's what's leading to the cold air across the country as of now. Now, what may happen early in the wintertime, we keep that ridge that balloons up from time to time. It gets a counterpart across Greenland, and those two in tandem would, for early winter especially, push that jet stream deep into the south, giving us the frequent cold air blast. We've had that already this fall, and I think that's going to continue in at least the first part of winter time. So temperatures, as we talk about the entire winter, and that's through February and March, I think we're normal to a little below, but it comes with wild temperature swings. Sound familiar? We've been there before, right? Snowfall, normal to above, courtesy of another active storm track. Now, the years that I look back on to make this winter forecast, ironically, the top three are spaced 10 years apart: 2020, 2010, 2000, and those go back, I like 1985. That's the last time we had a hurricane hit the United States in the month of November until this year. So across the country, a lot of cold air along and west of the Appalachian Mountains, but it's only slightly colder than normal compared to what we would normally be seeing in a La Nina winter. That's a little colder than what most folks would expect across the plain states. Month by month breakdown. I think December into early January, the coldest of the bunch. Look at this. We get into February and March, and I see the temperature trend starting to go up. Snowfall. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it in Lexington. Our WKYT rules winter ruler goes bye-bye. Normal is about 14 inches of snow in Lexington per winter. I think this year we're between 16 and 22. Last year we had 24 inches of snow, so we may be just a little under that. Overall, for the entire region, this is what we are working with a 16 to 24 inch swath across most of central and eastern Kentucky. Lighter amounts the farther west and southwest that we go. Now, something that I throw out there every year as a tag-on to the winter forecast is something called a bold prediction. It's not exactly a true set-in-stone forecast like what you were just seeing with the snowfall, but it's something that's a little off the wall. I've been doing this for 10 years in terms of a bold prediction. I'm 5 out of 10 with something crazy actually happening. And I was this close last year to a record low to go along with a record high. This year, you know one thing we're long overdue for in Kentucky, central and eastern Kentucky, is a true blizzard. And I think with an active storm track, Let's throw that out there as a bold prediction for the winter ahead. So, guys, there you have it. A winter that is similar to the past two in terms of snowfall. Nothing out of the realm that's just crazy. We'll keep an eye on this and see what Mother Nature can throw our way to see if we can go 6 out of 11 on that bold prediction.
I was just thinking maybe 5 out of 11 if you're gonna,
Right.
it's going to be a blizzard. All
There
right.
you go.
Chris Bailey and Blizzard. I don't like to hear that. in the same
Blizzard
sentence.
Bailey. I like the sound of that one. Huh?
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
A step in the right direction.